So one thing, you know how like snaps, like the snap sites like load pretty quick. And so I wanted to show my blog was on a WordPress site and it would load so slow. And then 4 months ago, I hired a technical SEO expert team to speed up my site basically. So they basically had to hard code my site, epay.com, and remove it off of WordPress and put it on a much faster thing. It's not a platform, this whole custom thing. It took him 4 months to build. Anyways, now if you go to my epay.com site, like it loads blazing fast. It's almost unreal. Like all the pages load instantly. Okay. And this is gonna have a site-wide impact on the ranking because what you must realize, and this is more advanced SEO knowledge, is that Google crawlers is going to read every code on your page. What our eyes see is content on the page, right? But if you go to right click and you do view page source, this is actually what the Google code is reading. Okay. Now, if you take a look at some of these other sites, I mean, we're talking like lines and lines of code. And what this technical SEO team was able to do, first of all, it removed every JavaScript. JavaScript, as you know, it slows the site down. It gives it more features, but it slows it down, right? So again, this is why I have noticed, now I understand on a deeper level now. When it costs Google more money, more time to go through your page, it increases the cost of information retrieval. And when two websites have the same content, but one website has double the code, it's almost like diluting the content. It's almost like writing content with a lot of diluted things on it, making it harder for Google to see what's on the page, more expensive for Google to read your page, and which is going to ultimately hurt your rankings. Okay. So for anybody that are trying to build websites on WordPress, it is hurting your rankings. And I could never understood why when I tried to save money, this is 9 years ago, this is like a year into the business. I tried to build some lead gen sites on WordPress that those sites just never did as well as the sites that I built on Weebly. At the time we were teaching it on Weebly. Now Snaps is even better because these sites are built on AWS hosting. And for most of you to set up that stuff manually, it's going to take way too much time. So again, this gives you more concrete understanding of why hosting your site on something like a Snaps gives you better rankings. And I just saw it firsthand because literally the site got transferred this past week and I was just like mind blown. Even the user experience of just clicking around and the page is loading instantly. When this was on WordPress, guys, like it would take 3 seconds for the page to load. I used to think that wasn't a big deal. People are just like clicking around, used to that. No, not only is it hurt user experience, and they say every second you add to the loading time, your bounce rate goes up by 10, 15, 20%, something crazy like that. I never understood quite, but like, I tried to deny that because I didn't even know where to turn to speed up a site like this. But now that my site is like fast and I'm clicking around, it's like seriously like night and day. And again, some of these pages used to have, my guy was telling me like 150 lines of code and he was able to reduce it to 30 lines of code. Huge difference. And we forget to realize that the Google bots are crawling the page source, like this version of the page instead of just the written content. Maybe I can find maybe one of my old blogs or something like that. Okay, this is one of my old blogs. Let me check, compare one of the articles maybe. I removed a lot of the articles off of here, but this is on a WordPress site, right? Okay, so let's hit view page source. Okay, look at how much more code there is. See, wow, I'm glad I pulled this up. This is on a whim, but this was a good demonstration just now. Okay, so this code was only this long because after we cleaned everything up. On the WordPress site, on one article, look at how much lines of code that is. That is actually mind-blowing. 900 lines of code. This one only has 21. That's actually insane. I didn't do the comparison until just now, but I'm actually a little bit like, because that's what he told me. But just to look at it physically like this, I'm honestly in real time a little bit blown away right now. Yes, WordPress, bro. Every time you add a plugin in WordPress, yeah, it's user friendly. You can add plugins. It adds whole batch of lines of code on pages. This is what people don't realize. And he says sites on Snaps load faster than WordPress because Snaps uses clean, optimized code and has speed enhancements built in. WordPress relies on bulky plugins and themes, and that slow it down for sure. Yeah, 100%. Not only that, but a lot of the cheap hosting you guys are using with WordPress, like the shared hosting, you think you're getting away with it because it's cheaper. You can host 30 websites or somewhere unlimited for $9 a month. Guys, you're paying for that with lack of speed and ultimately hurting your rankings because those shared hosting are essentially they're putting your site with a bunch of hundreds of other sites in a hosting account. That's why they're able to reduce that price so low. But now the hosting speed itself is slow, not to mention the code is bloated, but the actual hosting server speed is slow. Okay. Whereas Snaps is using AWS, like advanced hosting. Yes, you seem like you're paying, but you're getting much faster server time. So you guys know I'm not talking out of my ass, right? All the local Legion sites that I'm building are in my Snaps account. So I'm gonna just show you that to prove to you guys that I'm saying one thing and I'm using something else. No, for epay.com, I'm using something else because the site has 3,000 pages, okay? But for all the local Legion sites, you best believe I'm using Snaps. So 101 websites in my account right now, all local Legion sites that my team is building. Okay, boom, boom. So again, I'm not one of these coaches out here that are doing something and keeping a secret and doing something else, and I'm only doing it because Snaps is our thing. But no, dude, everything I say, I can back it up because this is what I'm doing.